you rather not bring around your children? That dude with the beard and the fentanyl hair looking like he sleeps under a...
Alright, welcome back, ladies and ladies with ducks. I'm just gonna use that every time good old Neil decides to give me a seal of approval on any videos I publish. So in my last video detailing Sneako, the professional erector inspector, I bet he even probably watched one of you guys be created with the amount of men he's seen penetrate his woman's spleen. If you guys are unaware or blessed enough not to know who Sneako is, then feel free to ruin your day by checking out my original video explaining what led him up into the shitstorm he's being faced with. Where I last left off, Sneako was hitting the cuckle shuffle, waving guns around towards YouTubers who emotionally hurt him, even though he whines about how emotional women are for 5 hours every day on the stream.
So you need to get on your knees and apologize because my feelings...
Actively criticizes women and their relationships, even though he admitted he willingly watched his girlfriend get pile drive right in front of other men.
No. It was missionary. Missionary legs up.
Like missionary legs up.
And then suggested it out for everybody to try, like it was an activity every family should do on the weekends. He also thought the movie Cuties, that straight up sexualizes children for 2 hours, was one of his all-time favorite films next to Jaws and the fucking Star Wars franchise. After Critical would call him out after being harassed by Sneako for months on end and having him make fun of him and his girlfriend's appearance for being a happy couple, I think.
Say, Nate, someone texted me, he's in a monogamous relationship. This is his girl.
And something he never really got to experience with his relationships because he was too busy taking notes on the other men's scrotes to actually provide enough for his girlfriend himself. But Critical did what I would say the most badass thing you could do in a response video, especially as somebody threatening to shoot you, which was to educate him on his own gun and pulled an F-frame from the War Dogs by busting out an AR-15 and correcting the terminology for it.
I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips, a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid.
Basically, in layman terms, he said, pull up them, bitch. And of course, Sneako, being the brave, confrontational man that he always pledges to be by calling out people to fight on Twitter, started whining on Adin Ross's stream about the situation, calling him the same automated insults he's always been calling him, like saying he looks like a drug-addicted homeless guy and his shirt smells bad, or whatever other insults he could grab off of Pinterest and his Discord that he quickly asked for comebacks off of because he's that lost and insecure with himself that he has to have his sweaty, sap, fap-addicted semen demons of grease in his Discord to create responses throwback at people who insulted him for him, which, you know, is a real dominant and free-spirited thing of him to do, and a list of other things that could take hours out of my day to go over. But today is the day that all changes, because I am here to happily announce that, much like what I said about EDP, that the war against Sneak Cheeks is what I can confidently say about over. Because recently, the past couple of days, Sneako managed to make his own official response on his Rumble page without being spoon-fed words, sentences, and basic human dialogue. I mean, truth be told, half the time this man doesn't even speak. He just verbally queefs into the microphone as he tries not to overclock his own fucking brain. In this response, Sneako just mainly highlights the same exact points he's been doing for the past year, blaming his schizophrenia on him being cancelled even though everything that has caused him to be hated by people was entirely done by him and his own fault, and essentially blames everyone but himself for his own actions, once again playing the victim in a situation that he all started, even though he consistently thinks women victimize themselves in every other sentence. And that's the pattern he's been showing for the last few months, an assortment of other bullshit that can easily be debunked. So without any more blabbering, let's watch this humble speech Sneako has to give for the people that called him a loser once.
These are 3 things that YouTube promotes on the trending page. MoistCritikal playing with and sitting on dildos. MoistCritikal using Satanism and Antichrist in his music videos. And his rampant gaming addiction.
I always never understood why Sneako tries to paint this narrative that every so-called woke person has this giant rain cloud above their head that wants to see the world and everything around them burn up into flames, when in reality nobody wants to cancel you or drive your career solely into the dirt. We're all just doing the same thing that you advocated for, which was bullying. We're not canceling you, Sneako, we're bullying you, because that's the very wish that you wanted, and everybody that has ever made a video on you calling you out for the disgusting actions that you said and done is simply granting your wish. And besides, if we all just swallowed your cock down our throats the same way your girl does at the family reunion, then there would be no differing opinions to counteract or call out the absolute wild things that you do say to people, like falsely accusing Brandon Buckingham, the person you actively avoid fighting, of sexual assault.
Literally threatened to R-word my girlfriend. Bro, literally said, I'm gonna R-word your girlfriend.
You said that?
Yes! Word for word!
If we sat in our asses and hypothetically gargled everything you said, then we would almost just be like the same very feminists you criticize that are just trifling troglodytes that blindly follow beliefs that they don't have full knowledge of. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, Sneako, that people have a different set of beliefs and opinions than you. I know it's hard to process, so maybe ask your little meat munchers in the Discord to forward me back.
But it's no secret that I have a degenerate past. Around 3 years ago, when I was 21 years old, I went to a swinger party with one of my girlfriends and joked about how traumatizing it was on a podcast. I was cheating on her a lot, and I felt bad, and I thought it would make us even if we swapped with the couple.
Again, Sneako, all one-sided. Your girlfriend could never give a flying fuck less to actually care about you, because in the end, you were the one that got emotionally inflicted from it, and not her. You brought it up on the podcast and went into full detail on how you were almost sent into shell shock from seeing another man's cock, detailing things that almost brought me to tears all the way at home, from describing how you had a front row seat to the meat show, and the fact that you still even try to bring it up today still shows how self-conscious you are about it. Because realistically, nobody would actually care if you were a cuck. It's just the fact that you insulted other people's girlfriends and relationships that puts you at a place where you have no room to talk, and yet you bring it up every single day. That's the issue that people have with it, and I don't know how you still don't see how it's not a problem.
I tried the lifestyle that the woke mind virus pushes, and it ends up being what the woke YouTubers try to shame me for. Kind of ironic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to fill me in on the time where anybody out there ever pushed for people to crotch watch with their partners. I don't know what the hell you mean when you say that you tried the very woke lifestyle. There's nothing woke about that, Sneako. I'm sure your eyes were very wide open the whole entire time, no doubt, but you just lived the lifestyle of a bitch that couldn't keep the loyalty of his own partner because of him allegedly cheating on her first. Which I'm gonna call bullshit on that, because this man explicitly said that he had no contact on the field and was only spectating multiple times, mind you.
Seeing all the hate online, it dawned on me in Japan, why have I never had a single negative interaction in public outside every single day? They all shake my hand and ask me for a picture. Not even a little joke, haha, cuck. Never.
Maybe it's because nobody is out to get you, Sneako. Nobody cares enough to actually come up to you and say anything, because that's how much value you hold to people. Nothing you say can almost ever be taken seriously due to all the dumb shit you did to outweigh anything else you try to do. You ruin your reputation by preaching about all of these ideologies about masculinity and manhood, and then you let your girlfriend do these motherfucking atrocities while you were just sitting there stroking it in the corner. That's why actual fans approach you, because the vast majority of people see you as a passing thought. Much like many content creators on the platform, we don't obsess over comments and scratch our necks and refresh the tweet deck like a fucking crackhead to see any negative feedback, because we don't base our emotions off of simple opinions on the internet like you do.
Today I'm happy to say I'm in the best shape of my life. I became a millionaire and my global network is only increasing. I don't say this to flex, but to show you that there's an option. Look at the lives of anyone making a hit piece video on Sneako, and look at the life that I am currently living in the present. Genuinely, which one would you rather live?
Neither, because I would rather live my own life than to base every single thing that I believe and think of on the internet and the people that I watch. But if I had to pick, probably Charlie. I mean, I would rather run away from girls at GameStop than to have girls run away from me with myself trailing behind them with love hearts in my eyes like I'm a member of the Looney Tunes show going to watch them have sex. But yeah, Sneako, from what I saw, Charlie is a pretty open guy that shared a lot of stories that not even Batman could get out of me with some of the shit he shares. In short, Charlie is someone that stands strong in their own beliefs and morals, and you're somebody that just masturbates off the Tate for knowledge. You try to say that you were lost and confused before living that previous lifestyle, but to be honest, from what I've seen, it looks like you're more lost than you could ever be, because you constantly let the tiniest of things make you throw a huge tantrum to where you threaten to fight somebody, and you act like a fucking toddler every time you get called out, and you can't even stand for what you say for without getting on your knees and sucking Tate to Mayday. So if I had to choose, I would probably even say a crackhead off a Skid Row before becoming the soul patch camel toe that you become.
I don't dislike him. He's just the perfect example of a popular YouTuber that's brainwashed. I used to watch videos when I was a teenager, just like a lot of my other haters, and today he's everything that I don't want to be when I'm 30 years old.
For this point, he basically rambles on about the same thing I previously talked about, how Critical is having secret ties with the devil and promoting murder with his music, and just over the top shit that isn't as deep as what he makes it out to be. Like almost everything that comes out of his mouth, even though Charlie posted videos on charities, donating to streamers, huge fundraisers that he himself organized. Just last month, a YouTuber with a disability had a house burned down, and Charlie did a live stream and raised, I think, what was over $20,000 just to help the man. So saying he is promoting hell and Satan and the evil Mantrix, Mancipator, whatever the fuck else, completely shows how unself-aware you are.
Tarnish his image, but to show you what he's presently promoting. I do not promote my woke past. I grew up online. Of course I've made many mistakes. My message today is to follow God, work hard, train hard, ban porn, stop gaming.
This is one thing he sees out of his teeth about all the time that I never mentioned, which is his repulsion towards gaming. To Sneako, playing video games is an automatic sign that you are a failure with no direction in life besides opening up a fridge.
By the way,
Alexa, shut the fuck. It's a sign of weakness to him for people to have hobbies and enjoy something they like doing, because he is incapable of having fun. Sneako is always upset, therefore we always have to be upset. There's no other way to fix it.
You don't have to ask what Fresh and Fit stand for. It's in the name of their show. So for everybody watching this, What does MoistCritikal stand for?
Charlie covered this again in a debate where he always said to push yourself to live a happy and healthy lifestyle, so I'm going to move on to where he brings up Cuties again and completely doubles down on his take where he's still claiming it to be work up there with Spielberg.
In Japan, there is no wokeness, there is no LGBT trans nonsense, and society is civilized. Somebody spills over their bag and everybody comes to help them out because they see each other as extended family.
Japan don't want your ass there. Matter of fact, 90% of the people that walk past you probably just hate you for existing. Japan is literally known for being exclusive to their own culture and not being that friendly to foreigners that visit. I'm not saying they're like in a tribal state either where they all start chucking spears at you as soon as you step out of the airport, but they're not exactly the most friendly to people who aren't native. So for you to use Japan as an example of a perfect happy society that welcomes everybody in, don't get me wrong, the country and the culture around it is so fucking cool, but they could not give one shit about your existence, Sneako. A matter of fact, they probably wish that you didn't exist. And showing yourself taking pictures with the 3 other white guys in the country doesn't really solidify how all of these haters are cowering in fear to talk to you, or whatever narrative you try to push. Because if anything, it kind of shows you being a pussy by fleeing to a whole nother country at the height of your controversy, but who am I to speculate? That's Sneako's job to do about people, not mine.
And that's why I will continue to defend the movie Cuties until MoistCritikal decides to debate me about it. Nobody who hates the movie Cuties has seen it. It's about an Islamic family that moves from West Africa to France, a woke country that's literally on fire right now, and the daughter of the family gets corrupted by TikTok and starts dancing provocatively.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Sneako makes sure to always disappoint by doubling down on the fact that Cuties is a good movie. Now you can call me a sorry soppy soy boy all you want because he is right. I haven't sat down and watched the whole entire film, but I have knowledge of what it is about and don't really need to take a second to realize why the movie wasn't effective. If you're going to make a film about kids being sexualized, I think a wonderful first step is to not actually show a kid being sexualized. They didn't do any good for the world. They just gave predators a whole fucking field day to see free CP on Netflix. Any message the movie tries to put out gets outweighed by the fact that they show teenagers busting it down around town and making sure to film every angle of them twerking and an assortment of other disgusting things that are impossible to defend. And yet here you are still to this day saying it's a modern work of art.
I started YouTube at 11 years old, and following the trends of social media before God led me to complete degeneracy. But rejecting these values, I have found a new direction, purpose, and meaning for my life. A lot of the hatred is justified. I should not have been attacking the people in the soy boy collage as much as I was, but I held a lot of resentment because they actively tried to get me banned on YouTube. They encouraged their followers to go and report my page.
He always focuses on this point that everybody that ever spoke about him wishes him to get banned. And like, I mean, I've already said this 100 fucking times at this point. Everybody on that list has never advocated for his cancellation besides one person, and that person was Nick is Not Green. Everybody else on that list has never downright said that you needed to be removed from the platform at once while they developed Parkinson's spamming the report button on your channel. The other example you showed isn't even owned by that YouTuber. It's a completely unassociated fan channel that uploads stream clips. You did all of this to yourself, and your lack of accountability towards realizing this is something that will never fail to impress me. You cause your own castle to collapse to the floor, and you try to blame other people for your own mistakes. And I mean, at this point, I honestly just think you have a humiliation king.
I don't want to attack people anymore. I would love to debate them and challenge their ideas, but they would rather make documentaries deep diving into my past, and my only existence on a platform that I'm banned on and grew up on is only hatred.
Well, if I remember correctly, what led up to you getting banned was you spreading hatred towards the left side. All of your videos were propaganda against the left and how woke people are ruining the mind. I don't know how you don't realize you do almost everything that you try to ridicule other people for, just on the exact opposite side of the field. Your life consists of you spreading negativity towards liberals and basically everybody that isn't just standing with you in general, because you believe everybody should be a carbon clone of yourself and can't tolerate the fact that people out there might just have different opinions than you do.
Honest, there is a clear pattern with the people that hate me. I don't say it to be cocky, but I am tall, I'm good looking, and I'm successful.
And yet you have no respect from about the general population. You lost about 80% of your entire viewership. Sure, you might have money, expensive cars, and materialistic things, but deep down inside you have a very fragile soul that gets crushed as soon as somebody says anything mean about you. And that's never a life I would want to live, where I'm so sensitive that I have to make a response video about how emotional I am. That sounds like a life of hell.
I'm officially retiring the soy boy image. I forgive everybody who advocated for my cancellation or made documentaries about me, and I'm ditching my attacking style of streaming. And I apologize to MoistCritikal for showing a picture on stream of you and your girlfriend. That was not very Christ-like.
That closes off the chapter of cucking and ducking because Sneako went on that debate and discussed the same topics that I went over in this video. But the one positive thing out of all of this is that Sneako and Charlie walked away with different perspectives on each other, where even now Sneako likes Charlie and even tweeted about it despite pointing a gun at him last week. All of this can finally come to an end where Sneako won't be plaguing through the internet attacking anybody at will. Now, ever since Charlie has bitched him, he strives for peace and happiness, and you know, if that's what he pushes for now, then you really can't be mad at that. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to slap a like on this video for your dad slaps you. Subscribe to hit my vibe and make sure to follow all my socials, links down below in the description. If you couldn't tell, this video was short mainly because I wanted to actually leave off my general opinions instead of just roasting this man to oblivion, because it seemed like he's finally calming down from the Arkham Asylum freakouts he was throwing just mere weeks ago. And I just wanted to cover the entire response and not their new debate, because that would just make this video literally hours long. But yeah, I'm thinking about a TCAP video for next week, so I'll see y'all there for it. I'm gonna have this bitch.
My brother just another me. They wanna make fuck the clout. We don't think we in it. We don't think we out of. Yo, my brother just another me. Yo,